Good afternoon. It is Friday, 29th of May. I have to figure out who stole a month and how we can press charges. It's Journal 347. It is T+424. Today's strange. We had a service issue here at the house and had to have people in, which is always anxiety laden because you don't know where they've been and you don't know how they are. I mean, we're not doing health screening at the door. We're not taking temperatures. Although I have to say that they were masked and gloved and they wore booties and they did a very professional job. It was clean and neat and they were in and out. And what I felt was a reasonable period of time. But I've been dealing with a number of health issues. I suppose you can call them underlying medical issues. And that's a term that's really uncomfortable because you hear it all the time on the news now whenever they're talking about COVID-19 fatalities, especially when they're talking about people over 65, which is a demographic that I happen to fall into. And they're always talking about underlying health conditions. Well, it's hard not to have underlying health conditions when you're over 65. A very dear cousin of ours, who's a medical doctor, reminded me a long time ago that everyone's born with pre-existing conditions or underlying medical conditions. So that's problematical. But I've been dealing with a number of things. I think everybody in my situation, maybe everybody in general, is dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, much of it I think is probably transplant related. Certainly the GVHD, the discomfort in my mouth and the inside of my cheeks and gums and when I swallow. That's been an ongoing GVHD issue. It's minor compared to what it could be, and I'll be thrilled to live with it if there's nothing that can be done about it. I can live with discomfort. I can even deal with the pain. But I've also got a problem with edema that's been there ever since the transplant. Wasn't there before, but it's been there ever since. And that kind of swelling scares the hell out of you when you've had blood clots or pulmonary embolisms, things like that, and you don't know, what's causing the swelling. You certainly don't want to have a deep vein thrombosis, a DVT. So I need to get that looked at, and there's a problem with my right leg, right shin, which may be related to osteoporosis, which is one of the side effects or the residual impact effects of the transplant. So I have a telemedical appointment with my doc at City of Hope before I go out for my June 18th regular appointment, and they want to have all the blood work done. So it was like an emergency trip to the mothership, a trip to the ship, as we kid around about it here, an unscheduled trip to the ship this morning, which put me on the road at 7:15, and much to my dismay or chagrin, or much to my delight, traffic was an issue, which is frustrating because it's traffic, but it's delightful because it means that the economy is opening up again and people are going back to work. If they go back to work safely and without a spike in COVID cases, then we're in good shape. So that was my morning. The thing that was fascinating about the morning is I've been back and forth to the City of Hope probably 3 or 4 times now. And each time I go, the screening procedure is slightly different, always more efficient, and discernibly better, which means they're constantly reevaluating it. And I think there's a lesson there for everybody. Instead of getting stuck in one moment in time and frozen there, perhaps it's best to just constantly monitor positive movement in the right direction. And I think that's what the City of Hope has done. Hopefully I'll have more information. I have a meeting with my doc on Tuesday. I have a meeting with my primary care on Monday. I have a meeting with my orthopod on June 18th. So I never thought that I would find my medical care a full-time job, but I remember my parents monitoring and managing their medical appointments and thinking to myself, my God, is there anything else they do? They're always at a doctor's. And now here I am. So the good news is that I had my blood work done and all the results came back excellent. And for the first time in possibly 5 years, my hemoglobin was normal, was in the normal range. It was so exciting. If we could go out and celebrate at a restaurant, I would. In the meantime, stay well, stay focused, stay safe, stay home, and take care.